Hello, welcome to another video from Encarando o Sobrenatural Official. Since here the audience is in charge, you asked for the return of our segment, maybe the most successful one. Many people discovered the channel through it, and we had already stopped doing this segment years ago. It's very hard to speak certain truths. It's even harder to work 20 to 40 hours on a video and then have it simply get banned or face some kind of restriction. So, because of these technical issues, we ended up shelving this segment. But since a lot of subscribers asked for it, we're bringing it back. The first topic of this segment's revival was in the Bonnie Taylor video, which actually had really high viewership. I thank each of you, and if you haven't watched it, check it out. But in that video, a lot of people said, Davey, you could have debuted this segment with the legend Chuck Norris. And I thought, really, I could have done that. So, since you're the one in charge here, today we're going to get to know one of the greatest legends of international television who still generates a lot of memes to this day. The cannibal world itself, created by the Piolongos brothers, classifies Chuck Norris in their version, Chuck Noya, as the god of their world, the invincible. And this comes from a global trend of various memes that show Chuck Norris as being invincible and unbeatable. It's actually a way that fans created to honor this great artist, who always made a point of training martial arts for better performance, just like Bruce Lee did during filming. A guy who deserves all the respect and never got involved in the woke agenda. He liked to drive an old, fully customized Ford pickup, making it clear that the style he showed in his movies and series like Texas Ranger wasn't just an on-screen persona, but a bit of his own essence being shown on the big screen. You don't see artists like that anymore these days. So, since I know you're more than curious to learn more about this legend, grab your baked banana with cinnamon and cheese right now, and let's start our segment, The Reality Behind the Myth. They say that Chuck Norris's tears cure cancer, but he has never cried. They say he counted to infinity twice. In the digital age, Carlos Ray Norris became the biggest invincibility meme on the planet. But behind the jokes and the image of an untouchable superhero, there is the story of a real man. A shy boy who overcame poverty, revolutionized action cinema, and became one of the greatest names in the history of martial arts. This is the true story of Chuck Norris. Born in Oklahoma in 1940, Carlos Ray Norris's childhood was far from easy. Son of an alcoholic and absent father, he was a shy young man with no athletic ability and who was bullied at school. The big turning point happened in 1958 when he joined the U.S. Air Force as a military police officer and was sent to the Osan base in South Korea. It was there that he discovered Tang Soo Do. What started as a search for self-defense turned into a positive obsession. Carlos discovered a discipline that would change his mind and body forever. That's where Chuck was born. When he returned to the United States, Chuck opened a martial arts school and began to dominate the tournament circuit. He became the world middleweight karate champion in 1968, holding the title for 6 consecutive years. But the world of cinema was calling him. At a tournament, he met a promising young man named Bruce Lee. The chemistry was instant. Bruce's invitation for Chuck to play his rival in The Way of the Dragon resulted in one of the most famous fights in cinema history. The Colosseum in Rome was the stage where East and West collided, stamping Chuck's passport to stardom. That invitation was possible because Bruce Lee insisted on bringing fighter actors to perform in the Colosseum in The Way of the Dragon. Em cenas reais de combate. That's why Bruce Lee is still considered a legend to this day. And it was exactly because of his search for good fighters that Chuck Norris got a chance he might never have imagined having. In the 1980s, Chuck Norris became synonymous with the American action hero. Movies like Braddock, The Octagon, and Delta Force turned him into a box office phenomenon. Later, in the 1990s, he conquered television with Walker, Texas Ranger, which stayed on the air for almost a decade. In his personal life, Chuck always tried to keep his feet on the ground. He got married twice, had 5 children, and faced silent battles away from the spotlight, including giving full support to his wife, Jenna Oakley. during serious health problems caused by medical complications. This even led him to temporarily step away from the screen. A life in the spotlight also brings its moments of tension. Chuck never hid his strong conservative political convictions and his Christian values, which sometimes sparked heated debates in the American media. A fervent critic of certain government policies and a staunch defender of the Second Amendment, he used his voice to support political candidates and military causes. Although his views divide opinions, Norris has always maintained his firm stance, arguing that freedom of speech and faith are the pillars of his life, and why not, of a truly evolved society. One of the most talked about encounters to this day, especially by Brazilians, was the legendary encounter with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu through the Gracie family. Even as an acclaimed master and founder of his own style, Chung Kuk Do, Chuck Norris never stopped being a student. In the 1980s, during a trip to Brazil, he heard about a family that was revolutionizing ground fighting, the Gracie family. Chuck went there to test his skills. The meeting with Master Helio Gracie and his sons, like Rickson and Rorion, was a reality check. Chuck himself admitted in an interview that when he tried to attack Rickson, he was submitted so quickly that he barely understood what happened. Impressed by the efficiency of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Chuck not only became a great promoter of the art in the United States, but also trained hard until he earned a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. His humility in putting himself in the role of a student, even though he was already a living legend, earned him lasting respect in the world of martial arts. To prove that you are special on this channel, we have the image of this legendary confrontation. Check it out here with me. Thank you.
He's in a direct fight and squeezing the neck isn't enough. It's a bad move, so put your bikini on.
You don't see this kind of thing these days. Many artists, no matter how talented they are often destroyed by their own ego. Chuck Norris, even though he was a sensation in the movies and extremely respected as a martial artist, subjected himself to something that many would avoid, like the plague. Most artists would never have subjected themselves to this kind of thing. But Norris was different. He wasn't a guy enslaved by his own ego. An admirable guy. And it's obvious that with that attitude and working as hard as he did, it could only lead to a great fortune. And that's how Chuck Norris built a legendary career in action movies, amassing an estimated fortune of around $70 million. Although the budgets and box office numbers from the 80s may seem modest compared to today's blockbusters, at the time, the financial returns were enormous. The most famous and profitable movies that boosted Chuck Norris's career and bank account are divided between classic productions and special appearances. If we make a list, we can definitely put Braddock Missing in Action as the first one. A 1984 movie, the year I was born. The box office grossed about $22.8 million just in the United States. And the amount spent to make this movie was considered extremely low, what we'd call a cheap movie today. Only $2.5 million were spent, and the profit just in the United States was over $22 million, almost 23. The impact of this movie established Chuck Norris as a top-tier action movie star. He played the iconic Colonel James Braddock. The success led to a profitable trilogy and secured exclusive contracts with the production company Cannon Films, considerably raising his salary. The second movie worth highlighting is Delta Force from 1986. The box office for this movie was approximately $18 million in the United States, a very significant amount for that time. In the script, he shared the lead role with the legend Lee Marvin. Norris delivered some of his most memorable scenes, like the famous motorcycle equipped with rocket launchers. The movie became an absolute classic at video rental stores and generated steady and continuous profits from VHS tapes and TV broadcast rights. The third movie was The Way of the Dragon from 1972. The box office for this movie is estimated at over 130 million worldwide over the years. Although Chuck Norris was not the main character, he played the main villain. His historic fight against Bruce Lee in the Colosseum in Rome is considered one of the greatest martial arts scenes in cinema, even to this day. This movie gave him global exposure and opened the door to financial success in Hollywood for him. And because of that, although Norris wasn't the artist, this was pretty much where things really started. The fourth movie is Code of Silence from 1985. This movie grossed about $20.3 million. Unlike the war and army movies, here he played a Chicago cop facing organized crime. Critics hail it as one of his best dramatic performances, proving that his name could attract solid box office numbers regardless of the theme. The biggest commercial success in terms of cash, without a doubt, is The Expendables 2, a 2012 film. If we look purely at gross revenue, the most profitable film he appeared in was The Expendables 2, grossing over $311 million worldwide. Norris made a special and iconic appearance as Booker, where the script even played with the famous internet memes about his invincibility. For this brief appearance, it is estimated that he received a multi-million-dollar fee of about $2.7 million by direct conversion. Despite all the success on the big screen, that is, in cinema, the biggest and most significant goldmine for Chuck Norris was television, starring in the series Walker, Texas Ranger in the 1990s, which had 8 seasons and more than 200 episodes. In fact, I have this series and I was going to watch it very soon. He started receiving astronomical salaries per episode. Since he was also the producer of the series, the image rights and international reruns continue to generate ongoing revenue to this day. The end of the legend, but a legend has no end. Chuck Norris had an admirable life. He is respected by his family at home and by everyone who followed his story. He passed away at the age of 86 on March 19, 2026. He was on the island of Kauai in Hawaii when he suffered a sudden medical emergency. He was rushed to the hospital. Unfortunately, he did not survive and passed away the following morning. The cause of death was not disclosed. The family confirmed his passing through an official statement on social media, but requested privacy regarding the exact circumstances, only emphasizing that he passed away peacefully and surrounded by his loved ones. The news, obviously, caused a great worldwide commotion. Due to the famous Chuck Norris facts, the internet memes that portrayed him as indestructible and immortal, many fans initially reacted with disbelief, paying both humorous and heartfelt tributes to the legacy of the action movie star. Big Hollywood names like Sylvester Stallone, Jean-Claude Van Damme, among others, also publicly mourned the loss of their friend. For many, this was the end of the legend, but a legend has no end. What Chuck Norris left behind was living proof that his name transcended the status of actor or athlete. He became part of global popular culture. The memes may be exaggerated, but the truth is that his real story of overcoming adversity, discipline, and passion for martial arts is even more impressive than the legends on the internet. Chuck Norris proved that the greatest power of a warrior is not in defeating others, but in mastering oneself. Rest in peace, Norris. You will never be forgotten. This video ends here. I hope you enjoyed it and above all, understood it. If that happened, bro, share it. You know, making this kind of video is not easy at all. So please, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, consider this your invitation to join our family. I'll wrap it up here. Thank you so much for giving me one of the most valuable things a human being has, which is your time. The fact that you spent these minutes with me truly honored me. God bless you, brothers. Hugs to all. We're in this together.